So, what does it actually take to succeed? Really succeed. Today, we're going to dig into some timeless wisdom from all over the world, and we're going to pull out 3 core principles for crushing your biggest goals. I mean, it's a question we've all wrestled with, right? Whether you're trying to build a career or maybe just tackle a big personal challenge, that path forward, it's not always super clear. But here's a thought. What if the answers, the real answers, have been around for centuries? So where are we getting all this? Well, the insights we're talking about today come from this amazing collection of quotes and proverbs. We're talking leaders, thinkers, different cultures from all over the planet. And listen, these aren't just feel-good motivational posters. Nope, these are time-tested truths about what really makes us tick. All right, let's dive into our first big idea. It's all about that internal engine that keeps you going. Persistence. Think of it as the absolute foundation, the concrete slab that every single great achievement is built on. Just take a second and let that one sink in. Wow. This quote from Winston Churchill is just so powerful because it completely flips the script on how we think about success and failure. So what's he saying? That victory lap you take, it's temporary. And that setback that feels like the end of the world, it's not the end of the story. Churchill's basically telling us that the real test of who we are isn't the win or the loss. It's the grit. It's having what it takes to just keep moving. It's all about seeing this whole thing as a journey, a constant loop of trying and learning, not some final finish line. I love this one. It's such a great picture of persistence in action. Think about it. A clock doesn't sit there worrying about whether it's making enough progress. It doesn't get anxious. It just moves, second by second, consistent, relentless. The advice here is so simple, but man, is it deep. Stop watching the clock. Do what it does. Just keep going. Okay, now this next idea adds a really interesting twist to persistence. See, it's not just about gritting your teeth and pushing through the tough times. It's also about having the guts to walk away from a perfectly comfortable situation, the good, so you can chase after something truly amazing, the great. And this is a choice we all face, right? The good path feels safe. It's comfortable. It's predictable. But great? Well, that lies way outside the comfort zone. That's where you find real growth, where you make a real impact. So you see, persistence isn't just about surviving the bad times. It's also about actively choosing the harder path, because it's the one that leads to something incredible. Okay, so we've got that personal engine, persistence. But let's be real. Nobody, and I mean nobody, achieves anything great all by themselves. And that brings us to our second principle, the absolutely incredible power of unity, of collaboration. I mean, what an image, right? A single strand of a spider's web. So fragile, you could break it without even thinking. But when you get a bunch of them together, they can tie up a lion. A lion. This ancient Ethiopian proverb just perfectly nails the whole idea of collective power. The big idea here is synergy. When we weave our individual efforts together, they don't just add up, they multiply. They create this force that is so much bigger than what any one of us could do alone. And all of a sudden, those challenges that seem totally impossible for one person, they start to look pretty manageable for the team. And this next proverb really builds on that. Yeah, sure, you can probably move faster by yourself for a little while. But if you want to go far, if you're in it for the long haul on one of those epic journeys that really matter, you're going to need a team. Think about it. Look at any major achievement in human history. How many of them were solo acts? Almost none. They're monuments to a shared dream, to people working together. What this tells us is that going together isn't just about getting to the finish line. It's about building something bigger, something that's going to last long after we're gone. All right, so we've got persistence, we've got unity, but there's one more piece to this puzzle, and this one is all internal. It's about your mindset, your attitude. It's what you bring to the table every single day. So let's talk about what it really means to have a proactive mindset. You gotta love how direct this is. Success isn't some passive thing that just happens to you if you get lucky. It's not gonna show up on your doorstep with a pizza. No. You have to be the one to go get it. You have to actively go after it. Really, what this boils down to is taking ownership. Having a proactive mindset means you're not sitting around waiting for the perfect moment. Because guess what? It's not coming. You go out and you create your own opportunities. I love this idea. Think of success as a verb. It's something you do. It's a hunt, and you've got to be the hunter. And here's a beautiful metaphor from nature for this proactive mindset. A river only flows one way, forward. It doesn't stop and get all hung up on the rocks it just went over or that sharp bend it took a mile back. Nope. It just keeps moving, always ahead. And that is exactly the attitude we need to have. Look, it's super important to learn from the past, of course, but you can't live there. A proactive mindset means you are consciously, deliberately pointing all your energy towards what's coming next. It's all about embracing that natural, constant, forward momentum. So there you have it. 3 powerful keys to success, all connected, all drawn from wisdom that stood the test of time. First, you've got the courage to continue, that internal drive. Second, the power of unity, knowing you're stronger together. And third, that proactive mindset, the one that puts you and only you in the driver's seat of your life. And let's wrap this up with one final, really thought-provoking proverb. It's a brilliant reminder that on this whole journey to success, being aware, well, it's everything. Think about it. Persistence, unity, being proactive, those are your tools. But you've got to keep your eyes wide open to what's really going on if you want to use those tools right. Because if you don't, the lessons you learn are probably going to be the hard ones. So it leaves us with a great question. What facts might you be closing your eyes to on your own path?